Alrighty guys, welcome back to the YouTube. Tonight we have a really spontaneous video. I had no content going into tonight. It's Saturday night at like 11 o'clock at night. I'm sitting there going, I have all this card content for Saturday, but I have no wrestling figure content for Sunday. What am I gonna do? Well, what better thing to do than a long overdue top 10 favorite Jeff Hardy figures of all time. And if you know me, you know I'm a huge Jeff Hardy fan, huge Jeff Hardy collector, and I have not done a top 10 Jeff Hardy video on this channel. And again, I do say this is my top 10 favorite Jeff Hardys, not the top 10 best. I know that they kind of go hand in hand, best and favorite, but this is my favorite. It's all opinionated. I'm not saying that these are the best Jeff Hardys, but I am saying they are my top 10 favorites, and I'm gonna explain to you why that is, and if there's a sentimental value to some of these, or if it's just a really cool figure and I think they did it really well. Either way, we're gonna dive in and go from number 10 all the way down to number 1. If you're new to this channel and you do like the content by the end of the video, please consider dropping a like, even a subscribe. Really helps the channel grow and goes a long way, so thank you so much for being here. Let's get right into this video, starting with number 10. Here we go. So at number 10, guys, we have a sentimental figure. This is one that I had to put in here, and it's really because this was the first figure that really got me back into collecting right before I went to the military in like 2018. Me and my dad were running to Walmart together to actually get things for the military, like to get something that I might need to go. And I said, okay, let's go to the figure aisle, and if they have a Jeff Hardy figure, you're gonna have to get it for me. He shook my hand, said, all right, you got a deal, just because he knew how much I loved Jeff Hardy growing up. And this figure was sitting there, only one of them, not even a ton, only one. We picked it up, and about 3 years later, I met Jeff and got it signed. It is the Entrance Greats Jeff Hardy figure from Mattel. This comes in at number 10, and the reason, like I said, that this figure falls here, one is for the sentimental value that I have to this figure, but also I'm gonna kind of put / Elite Series 1 Jeff Hardy, and I'll drop a picture right over here of that figure. Elite Series 1 is literally this figure with very minor differences. I think the belt color is green on the Elite Series 1, and I think there's some other differences too that I can't think of right now looking at the figure. But either way, it was basically supposed to be this figure released in the first ever Elite Series, and Jeff Hardy ended up obviously getting released from the company, went to TNA, and they ended up canning the figure. That figure that I showed you here, and still showing you here, is worth thousands of dollars mint on card. It's super hard to find. I've almost pulled the trigger on loose versions of that figure, but haven't done it just because I do have this one, and I have this one loose as well, so they're really similar. If I were to ever get it one day, it's my holy grail of any figure ever, and that is definitely the number one that I really want to get down the road. But I think it's going for like anywhere from 5 to 10 grand, so probably long ways ahead if I ever do get that one. That's why this one's standing in its place, coming in at the number 10 slot. And I did throw some curveballs in here. I know that in the thumbnail there were some figures that you're probably thinking, what, a top 10 Jeff Hardy? The Marvel action figures 2006 Jeff Hardy's in there. No, he's not, but we do have another TNA figure of his in here, and it's from, I think, 2011, 2012, when he went over to TNA after being on top of the world in WWE. At number 9, we have the Deluxe Impact, I think Series 3 Jeff Hardy. I gotta fact check myself there. Either way, I hope you guys are getting a good look at this. Let me just make sure you're getting some good lighting on there. Super bright colors on this one, so I'm not sure that it's really picking up the best, but I hope it is. We have the pink gear Jeff Hardy. I was going to show you mock pictures, but then I felt like that was kind of boring if I had the figure in hand and they fell into my top 10. So we do have the Jeff Hardy from Deluxe Impact. This one really just popped to me, the colors. I feel like I've never seen, I don't want to say never, I probably have seen Jeff Hardy wear the pink sleeves again like this, but it's been a really long time. It has to have been a really long time because I don't remember it greatly. But this figure coming out when it did, I remember just needing to find it, and we never found it. Me and my mom went looking for it in every store that ever carried wrestling figures, couldn't find it, and ended up ordering it online, paying probably way more than it was going for at retail. But this is the same exact one. I ripped it open, and this is the same one. You can tell the condition I kept it in since I was 11 years old. I loved figures from a young age and always kept them pretty clean. So yeah, Jeff Hardy, this one right here really popped to me, and it does come in at the number 9 spot. At number 8, we have one that would probably be in the top 2 or 3 if we were talking about the best Jeff Hardy figures, based on like the look and how well it was done by the company that made it. But this one is not one of my favorites. I mean, it's in the top 10, but it's not one of my like top 3 favorites. It is a great figure though, and it had to be on this list. So coming in at number 8, we have the Survivor Series Elite Jeff Hardy figure. This thing is awesome. From, I believe it was a 6-man tag with DX and obviously Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy. I can't remember who else was on that team. Oh man, maybe John Morrison. Was Johnny Nitro on that team? I don't remember. Either way, this figure really stood out to me when it came out. We got the purple like braids, or I don't know if they're dreads. Were they dreads? I'm not sure. But you got the purple and green armbands, so iconic for Jeff Hardy in those mid to late 2000s. And the really cool silver Hardy Boys logo on the back of the little hooded vest he wore out to the ring. This one's a really, really cool figure. Even without the little hood piece, you can remove that and it looks great. Huge fan of this one. And I do have this one autographed in mock as well. It's back there. I'm not sure if you can see it from this angle, but it's sitting somewhere right around here. So yeah, big fan of this figure. Had to put it on here at number 8. At the number 7 spot, we have a figure 2-pack that I thought would be much higher, but then I started to really look at my Jeff Hardy figures and go, no, I don't like that pack better than this figure individually. So I really broke it down by the Jeff Hardy figure itself for the sake of this video. But this 2-pack itself is one of my favorite pieces that I own, and it took me years to acquire this and especially find it in the way that it's in. I have shown it off on this channel. We have at number 7, I believe we're at 7, I hope we are, we have the Deluxe Classic Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Brood Hardy's 2-pack. This was my holy grail for years as a child growing up. I had like just gotten into really collecting figures around when this came out. Honestly, probably earlier. It was probably earlier, but I just didn't know about this. I remember, I think this might have been a Ringside exclusive. If not, then I just never saw it in the stores. I was really young. I was like in the single digits of life, so my parents weren't taking me out looking for this at the time. And I never saw it. And then when I got old enough to look on things like eBay and just the internet in general, this was hundreds of dollars, and it was a super rare piece. I was able to luckily connect with somebody on Instagram. I believe Moose Collects was the account, and he hooked me up with a really good deal on this and the Brothers of Destruction 2-pack signed by Kane. I still need to meet Undertaker. Can't get him. I've tried Fanatics Fest. He sells out in minutes. But it was that 2-pack, this 2-pack here, and the Rey Mysterio and Eddie 2-pack signed by Rey. And those 3 packs were like my ultimate holy grails. And to find this one and have it in the collection, it just reminded me how much I love this Jeff Hardy figure and just how much I loved collecting Jeff growing up. This definitely had to be on here. At the number 7, maybe was a little low, but talking individually, it's not like the most phenomenal looking Jeff. You guys can see it. So yeah, number 7 will do for this 2-pack for sure. Now we're at number 6, and this is where it really got tricky for me. All of these figures from 6 all the way to 1, I love these figures. I actually need to get, I want to say 1, 2, 3. I need to get 3 of them mock, because I have 3 out of the 6 loose and mint on card, but 3 of them I still need mint on card. They just go for a hefty chunk of change, and I haven't been able to pull the trigger on it, especially now collecting sports cards and figures. It's like, it's mayhem. So you got to be careful with what you buy, and it's just not the time yet for me to pick those up mint on card. Hopefully they'll drop down the road, and I'll be able to get them, maybe even bring them to get signed by Jeff. But at number 6, we have one that could be people's number 1. This is a phenomenal figure. It is the Ringside exclusive TNA Deluxe Impact, maybe I want to say. We have the glow-in-the-dark Jeff Hardy figure. This thing is so cool. I really hope this camera is picking up the image that I'm hoping shows through for this figure. This thing is awesome. It glows in the dark. I'm going to put a picture probably to this side of me of it glowing, and the packaging on this thing was sick. I just remember the package glow, everything glowed, and it was such an iconic moment for Jeff Hardy being in his younger run in TNA, and just killing it. He was having great matches with Abyss, great matches with oh man, there were so many like X Division guys around that time. It was nuts. But Jeff Hardy around that era, this era here, phenomenal. He has the soft goods, long towel hanging out with the removable soft goods shirt, the very, very cool arm paint there in green. It looks awesome. I'm a huge fan of this one. Like I said, it could have been ranked higher, but just because there's so many that I love, he did fall in at the number 6 spot. All right, top 5, here we go, and this one's going to be a shocker. At number 5, we have an AEW Jeff Hardy figure. I know, an AEW Jeff Hardy, unmatched. Look at this guy. He came in at number 5 for me. I was super surprised that I put an unmatched AEW Jeff Hardy at number 5. This thing is unbelievable. The tattoo work, first off, let's just show that head scan right there. The head scan of this Jeff Hardy is on the money, especially for a modern Jeff Hardy. Like, that thing looks awesome. You can see the tattoos on this guy. Here, we'll get that lighting for you there. Ring lights are so tough, man. They're so tough. But I try my best, and hopefully you guys do enjoy. The tattoo work, everything about this figure is so nice, and I'm such a fan of it. It really has grown. Like, this is one that I definitely need to get mint on card now, because it's grown in my favorites. I just really like this one. I think they did such great work with it, and it stands out in my collection, especially now that I've met Jeff as he's older and in this condition. Like, this is what I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna remember meeting him, doing the meet and greets. I didn't get to meet him when he was at the height of his fame, but now that I've met him around this time, this is the guy I'm gonna remember. So this figure really stands out to me and definitely made it into the top 10. At number 4, we have the Elite figure that got me back into full-on collecting WWE Elite figures, because I was dabbling with the Ultimate Editions and some Elites, but this Elite Series 84 Jeff Hardy really brought me back into full-time collecting, and it is the Chase. I'm going to specifically talk about the Chase version of this figure, because the blue version was really cool. It came with the common or standard version was the blue face paint. This red face paint version, though, when I met Jeff for the first time, we had a nice conversation about this figure, and he saw that I had brought it for him to sign, and he said, "Oh man, you have the Chase version, right? This is like the special edition one." And I said, "Yeah, this is a really cool one of my favorites of yours. I think the face paint work you did here was awesome, and they captured it really well in the figure." And he was like, "Oh yeah, dude, I love this one. Let me sign it really cool for you." So he signed it in red, in pink, and white, and made like a cool shade of coloring. I'll try to show a video of that one too. I'll put it in here if I do get it. But I love this figure so much. I think I have 2 loose and 1 signed on card. And like I said, the memory stands out. Whenever you have a memory meeting a wrestler, I feel like it just propels that figure or whatever you got signed into the stratosphere. So this one had to be in here, definitely in the top 5. It is number 4 on the collection video or top 10 list that we're doing right now. At number 3, guys, we've made it to the top 3, and I definitely just sneakily showed you the head of this figure. We have an Elite Series. Oh man, which one is this? Oh, I'm blanking right now. Is it 79 or Elite 81? Oh goodness, man, which one was it? I have the Big Show right down there from this series. Give me a second here. I'm trying to. Oh wait, I have the Jeff too. Oh man, 71. See, oh man, look at that. Look at that lighting. We're back. Okay. It was Elite Series 71 Jeff Hardy. I combined, I said 79, I said 81. It was 71. This thing is a sleeper of a figure, and I don't think it's really slept on. I don't want to say it's a sleeper because a lot of people acknowledge it. The price on it's pretty high, mint on card right now. I think even loose it's a pretty costly figure if it's complete. It came with 3 different head scans, all painted. One was pink. I'll show you the package of the autographed one so you can see that. And it came with a ton of accessories. It came with the towel hanging out of the back. It came with obviously 2 other scans, and this scan right here is actually a pretty cool one, because if you look at it closely and you do remember 2008-ish, 2009 Jeff Hardy, Hardy. This face paint is the one that he got retired in, essentially, in that loser leaves WWE match against CM Punk. This was the face paint that he walked out to the ring with, and when I saw this figure, that's what I wanted it for, was that to make a custom. However, I have never attempted to make a custom. I don't think I'm good at making customs, and I really just honestly don't have the passion for making customs, and I don't think it would come out as good as some of you guys on Instagram and YouTube do. I have been trying to get one done for years. I just have to commit and pull the trigger. But that retirement gear Jeff Hardy with this face paint mold on there, it was such an emotional moment for me as a kid that I need it in figure form, and they never made it. So I need that steel cage match with CM Punk in figure form for Jeff Hardy, and hopefully I can use this head scan to get it. I think that's why it falls in here at number 3, but I also love the pink gear. Again, that's 2 pink gear Jeff Hardys in my top 10, so I must just have something for the pink on action figures that really pops out. Awesome looking figure, definitely in the top 10 at number 3. We've made it to the top 2, guys. This is where I think it will get a little interesting, because my top 2 favorites are probably not going to be aligned with your guys' top 2 favorites, and that is okay. I want to hear what your top 10 favorites are in the comment section of Jeff Hardy figures, especially if you're a Jeff Hardy fan, because I want to know what other Jeff Hardy fans think of his action figures. What are the best ones we've gotten? Or like I said, just your favorites. I don't care if they're the best or maybe they look horrible, but I mean, in my opinion, I don't love the way that the Marvel Jeff Hardy TNA figures look. To you, that might be your favorite figure, and if that's the case, I want to hear it in the comment section. So sound off if you're watching and you enjoy this video. At number 2, though, we have the Jakks Pacific Cyber Sunday Jeff Hardy action figure. This thing, again, sentimental value. I've had this exact figure since it came out, and I ripped it open as a child, and it's still in pretty solid condition. The arms are a little bit loose from hitting the swanton pose or the twist of fate or whatever I was doing, but this is one I definitely need mint on card. Again, one that I've almost pulled the trigger on, just haven't had the space for it, or really the money as well, as it hasn't been there to double up on a figure with so many great new figures coming out. This was one that I vividly remember my mom bringing me to get. I always saw the Jeff Hardy figures like on the top shelf at toy stores, not like Walmart, Target, KB Toys, Toys R Us. This was like an actual like collectible store in the mall that had wrestling figures and knew the value of Jeff Hardy at the time. Like, they knew his figures sold really well, and I always remember the Jeff Hardy figures were on the top row, and they were always more expensive than every other figure. And I saw this one up there, just one. They had one left, and I looked at my mom and said, "Oh my goodness, Mom, that's the one that I saw on Ringside Collectibles. That's the one that I really want." And she asked him how much it was, and I think at the time it was probably like 30 bucks, but back then 30 was a lot, because I think all the other figures were like 12 or around that ballpark, 10 to 12. So this was a lot of money, and I'll always remember my mom getting it, and I value it. I value this figure. It's just a story that hopefully you guys can connect to, just a figure that really stood out, and I'm lucky enough to still have it after all the years it's been held onto, and I kept it in a box under my bed or in a drawer for so many years through so many different houses. So I'm really, really grateful for this one. It is at number 2, and it's an iconic look. This is from the ladder match on SmackDown with The Undertaker. Great match, great figure at number 2. And I may have thrown some curveballs into the thumbnail, I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't throw a curveball with number 1. You guys, if you've been around on this channel, you know how much I love this figure. My all-time favorite figure, and not because the head scans are great, because I don't love the head scans on this one, and the body mold isn't even great. It's just the timeline and the era of Jeff Hardy. This is my favorite figure probably in my whole collection, and I have like, I might have like 4. I think at one point I had 7 of these, but I was like, my wife was like, "Dude, what are you doing with 7?" And I was like, "Yeah, let me get rid of some." Now I think I have 4, and I think we've kind of agreed that it ain't changing. So here we go. Number 1. If you've made it this far, please don't forget to subscribe and like. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. Here is number 1, the Ultimate Edition Fan Takeover Amazon exclusive Jeff Hardy figure. I love this figure. This is the Hardy celebration on SmackDown after Armageddon 2008 when he beat Edge and Triple H for his first ever WWE Championship. This was iconic, especially if you were a fan at that time of Jeff Hardy and you loved WWE in that 08, 07, even 09 era. This was like insane when he won the WWE World Championship. And I vividly remember thinking to myself, like, now as an adult, like, this should have been WrestleMania. Him winning the belt should have main evented. I mean, that year, I think it ended up being him versus Matt, and he only held the belt for like a month. He lost it at Royal Rumble, dropped it to Edge. So clearly, I don't think they wanted him to be the champion for that long, or maybe he was having the drug problems or something. I'm not sure, but this was a WrestleMania caliber moment in this figure form on SmackDown with the fireworks and the celebration. This was huge. I'm a huge fan of this figure, and I'm so glad they made it when he came back to the WWE with Matt at WrestleMania a couple years ago. Man, a couple of years ago. I think that was like 2018 now. I'm acting like it was like 2 years ago. Good grief. Man, time's moving, guys. Time is definitely moving. This figure, though, like I said, so grateful they made it. I love it personally. I think the green and white armbands with the purple. Is that purple? Oh, no, they went black on there? I'm not sure. I think it's black, actually, but I thought it was purple. Either way, love this figure. A great one. Had to be in the video, and it was undoubtedly my number one. Right when I thought of making this video tonight, I was like, oh, I got my number one. Okay, now let's fill out 2 through 10. But we did it. We did it. It's 11 o'clock at night, 11:20. So not bad for the video. I took my time here, but we got it done. So guys, thank you so much again for being here. Thank you for watching. If you like the content, again, we do wrestling figure or wrestling related content every single Sunday. Probably around 5 p.m. is usually when I drop my videos. And then Saturday nights, I do a card video. I collect cards as well. WWE and football are my main two. But there might be some basketball or baseball thrown in there occasionally as well, because I am a huge sports fan. But mainly WWE and football. So if you do enjoy sports cards, that's on Saturday night, and that usually goes up around 3 o'clock. So just 2 different things if you're interested. Thank you so much again for being here. I hope this video was as fun for you guys as it was for me. Love Jeff Hardy, and I'm actually meeting him again this upcoming Saturday, and we are going to be vlogging from WrestleFest. I think that's what it's called, WrestleFest in White Plains, New York. So if you're out there, say what's up. It's going to be sick. I'm looking forward to it. Me and one of my buddies from middle school linking up, former Hardy Boy fans, and we're going to meet them, so it's going to be awesome. Definitely going to vlog that, and that'll probably be next week's video, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for being here. As always, take care, God bless, and we'll see you real soon with more content. Thanks again.